bipolar ghosting, understanding it and thriving beyond its impact. Have you ever experienced someone you deeply care for suddenly pulling away, disappearing without warning, leaving you feeling lost, confused, or even rejected? You might be dealing with a phenomenon known as bipolar ghosting. Let's dive into what it is, why it happens, and most importantly, how you can thrive without letting it derail your emotional well-being. This journey is not about pointing fingers or casting blame. It's about building understanding, practicing compassion, and learning how to protect your peace while navigating these tough emotional experiences. To understand bipolar ghosting, we first need to examine ghosting itself. Ghosting occurs when someone abruptly cuts off communication with no explanation, leaving the other person with a sense of confusion or abandonment. But bipolar ghosting comes with unique nuances, as it often stems from the emotional highs and lows associated with bipolar disorder. People with bipolar disorder experience intense mood shifts that alternate between manic and depressive episodes. During a manic phase, there might be heightened excitement, creativity, or even deep bonding, which creates meaningful, intense connections. However, the depressive phase can cause withdrawal, burnout, or isolation, leading to ghosting or avoiding relationships altogether. It's important to understand that this withdrawal isn't personal, though it often feels that way. Instead, it's a reflection of a mental health struggle that may make maintaining communication too overwhelming for the person experiencing it. Understanding this creates a pathway to more compassion and less self-blame. To process the actions of someone with bipolar disorder, we must reflect on what's happening inside their mind during these shifts. During the manic phase, a person with bipolar disorder might feel euphoric, energetic, and highly social. They may form strong connections, overshare their emotions, and seem exceptionally invested in a relationship. This intensity often generates closeness and attachment, creating robust bonds with those around them. However, this level of activity can also be unsustainable and may leave them feeling exhausted or overwhelmed once the manic phase subsides. When this occurs, it might feel like they're withdrawing or ghosting, which can seem contradictory to their earlier behavior. The depressive phase can hit hard. During this time, people with bipolar disorder often feel depleted, vulnerable, or unable to connect socially. They might ghost as a self-protective mechanism driven by feelings of shame, guilt, or simply an inability to muster the strength required to interact. Their withdrawal is less about you and more about their inability to cope at that moment. It can be hard to experience this shift from closeness to distance, but it's essential to recognize it as part of the mental health cycle they're experiencing, not as a reflection of your value or the relationship itself. Ghosting can also result from their way of coping with internal turmoil. Stress, fear of judgment, or even the inability to explain their own emotions might drive their silence. This isn't about inflicting pain or rejection, it's their way of managing an overwhelming mental state. When someone ghosting you also struggles with bipolar disorder, stepping into their shoes could help ease feelings of rejection. While their actions may have hurt you, understanding the underlying reasons can bring clarity and compassion. Remember, bipolar disorder is a mental health condition that individuals cannot simply snap out of. It's a lifelong challenge they manage daily, often while grappling with feelings of shame or guilt for the impact their actions may have on others. This does not mean justifying hurtful behavior or tolerating mistreatment. However, seeing the person separately from their condition allows you to approach the situation with empathy. If you can remind yourself that their behavior is deeply tied to their personal struggles rather than anything you've done, it can help you buffer some of the emotional pain. That said, compassion shouldn't come at the expense of your own peace. Recognizing this balance is critical to maintaining your mental and emotional health. While understanding bipolar ghosting helps, the most vital part of this journey is how you respond to it. Thriving beyond the effects of ghosting means prioritizing yourself without cutting off your compassion for the other person. Here are strategies to help you maintain your emotional strength and find independence from this potentially hurtful experience. Boundaries are an act of self-care. When dealing with someone who might ghost, it's crucial to set clear emotional boundaries. This means protecting your peace and ensuring that while you care for others, you don't bear their burdens at the cost of your mental health. A healthy boundary might include recognizing when to stop reaching out after someone has withdrawn, or knowing when to walk away if the relationship consistently leaves you feeling hurt. Setting boundaries allows you to respect both yourself and the other person's journey. When someone ghosts you, it's all too easy to fill the silence with assumptions. Was it something I said? Did I push them away? Ghosting often triggers self-doubt. But remember, bipolar ghosting is rarely about you. It's about their inner struggles. Learning to detach your self-worth from their actions can help free you from pain caused by false stories your mind might create. Instead, practice recognizing the truth of the situation. Emotional withdrawal is often their way of navigating a challenge too difficult to explain. Even as you practice compassion for the person ghosting you, it's equally important to turn that same kindness inward. Be gentle with yourself as you process the confusion or hurt. Remind yourself that it's okay to feel what you feel and that the other person's actions don't define your value. Engage in practices like journaling, mindfulness, or speaking to a trusted person to process your emotions. Give yourself the same grace you'd offer a close friend. When ghosting leaves you feeling isolated, leaning on a strong support system can serve as an emotional anchor. Surround yourself with people who genuinely care about your well-being, friends, family, or even a support group centered around shared experiences. Healthy relationships remind you that you're not alone and that there are people out there who value consistent, honest connections. Thriving isn't just about surviving, it's about growing. Instead of becoming consumed by the unanswered questions or pain of being ghosted, channel your energy into personal goals and passions. What hobbies, interests, or life goals light you up? Dive into those areas and let them fuel your sense of joy and accomplishment. This shift in focus can help you find stability even amid emotional uncertainty caused by someone else's actions. Mindfulness can be transformative in helping you stay grounded amid emotional waves. Whether it's through meditation, yoga, or even mindful breathing, grounding yourself in the present moment lets you manage painful feelings without being overwhelmed by them. Additionally, therapy offers a space to process the complexities of navigating relationships with people who have mental health challenges. Working with a therapist can provide tools for resilience and emotional clarity as you move forward. Bipolar ghosting may leave you feeling confused, hurt, or even rejected. But it's vital to remember, their withdrawal is not about you. It's a reflection of their mental health struggles, challenges rooted deeply in the highs and lows of bipolar disorder that they manage daily. Understanding this behavior can inspire empathy and compassion, but you don't have to let it define your emotional landscape. By prioritizing your own needs and boundaries, practicing self-compassion, and focusing on your personal growth, you can thrive even amid these challenges. At the end of the day, remember, your worth is not tied to how others treat you, but to the care and love you show yourself. You have the strength to rise above the hurt, grow through the experience, and emerge as a more resilient and empowered version of yourself. Keep striving, keep growing, and keep thriving. You deserve it.